Hi, Sai Rohith. Welcome.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you.
Good evening, man. So, please introduce yourself to the audience seeing this video.
Yeah, hi all. My name is Sai Rohith. I got recommended for SSC Tech-61 entry from 17 SSB Bangalore. Uh, I got recommended in my 12th attempt. Previously, I got screened out 10 times and I got conference out once. In my 12th attempt, I got recommended.
Okay. Other than SSBs, what do you do? What is your current profession?
Sir, I work in the IT field as a software engineer in Deloitte. It's been like 4.5 years I've been working and preparing for SSC.
Okay. In which year did you graduate?
Sir, I got graduated in 2018.
Okay. Okay. Computer science?
No, sir, electronics and communication.
Okay. So, you said you have been screened out 10 times and conferenced out once. So, can you elaborate on it? Like, what used to go wrong and what different happened in the attempt you got recommended?
Sir, I got screened out continuously in my first 6 attempts. The things which I think went wrong was the first thing was the perception of the picture. In my first couple of attempts, in first 3 attempts, uh, I used to be in a hurry to see the picture and to start writing the story. I didn't observe the picture very carefully in my uh, starting attempts. That made my story not in sync with the picture. And one more reason which I think got me screened out many times is my narration. Usually we narrate just like telling we need to narrate like a story. As we write a story, we need to narrate it like a story to others. But I used to narrate it in the same pitch, which for the FFRs maybe it becomes boring. It is also one thing which I thought, which is the reason for my screening out.
I see. So your narration was mostly robotic and you are not narrating it like a story, like you are not narrating
Yes,
it
sir,
in a
definitely, yes.
vibrant manner, which is why you think
Yes,
your
sir.
attempts were not going good. Okay, and the perception of the picture was not up to the mark, so the stories were not of good quality naturally.
Yes, sir, yes.
All right. So what happened in this attempt in which you got conference out? This must have been your seventh attempt, right?
Yes, sir. I got conference out in my 7th attempt, and in that attempt, I was nervous since I got screened in for the first time,
Okay.
and I in that I didn't give my best in my GTO and in the interview as well. The GD was a little chaos, and I didn't give my best. The points which I know which are good points, I was not able to keep put them in the GD, and I was not assertive in the GP and other tasks as well. And in the interview, I was not able to answer some of the technical questions and some of the current affairs questions like that, which I think was the reason for my conference out.
Okay. Sai Rohit, in spite of all these failed attempts, like 11 attempts overall, 10 screen outs and one conference out, how did you keep yourself motivated? What kept you going for another attempt, another attempt? Like, why didn't you give up?
Sir,
Or
in my
what kept
mind,
you
I
going?
believe that I am suitable for the armed forces and I will get selected one day. One day, that hope in myself and the belief in myself kept me going.
That's nice. That's a great message to all the aspirants watching this. Usually we start losing trust in the selection system, or we start thinking that they want extraordinary people and probably we are not up to the mark. These kind of doubts come, so it is important to have self belief and keep on trying and hope for the best, and one day it will happen, like you have proved it
Yes,
now.
sir. For me also, those type of doubts came, those self doubt, like whether I am suitable or not. But I didn't let them occupy my mind. I always believed I will get selected, so that kept me going.
Good, good. So let us talk about this attempt in which you got recommended in detail. Like what happened during the screening and what happened during stage two. Just elaborate the 5 day
Yeah,
process.
in screening as usual, I did well in my OR, and I this time I was I actually, when compared to my previous attempts, I was not prepared that well in this attempt. So I went casually without any tension. So that helped me in screening. I was able to pursue my picture very well, and I kept a target of completing my story narration under 40 seconds, which I did. Usually in take entries, what happens is the reporting is very large, and uh, usually SSS will keep on saying next after 30 seconds or 40 seconds while narrating the story. So I always kept that in my mind that I should complete my story in 40 seconds. I prepared like that way and completed it in 35 to 40 seconds. And in GD, for us, the GD only went for 1 minute, so I didn't participate at all in the GD. And as I told earlier, I used to be very robotic in narrating the story. This time, I narrated it to a group as a real story, as it happened in real life, with changing the pitch of my voice and kept it interesting. Uh, Overall, the narration and the OIR went well. So I thought like I will get screened in this attempt, and I got screened in. And the next day, psychology test also went well. Uh, like in some of your Instagram stories, you mentioned like we need to observe the picture well, and then only we need to start writing. I kept that in my mind. For the first 30 seconds, I didn't did anything. I just observed the picture, and even the 30 seconds got over. For 10 to 15 minutes, I
10 to 15
imagined the
seconds.
picture. Yeah, after the picture is flashed and 30 seconds got over, I didn't started writing. I just kept myself calm and kept and I made sure what are the points I should write and what is the team I need to make. And then once all the thoughts got organized in my mind, then I put them in the paper. In this approach helped me a lot in TAT. I was able to perform well in TAT. And WAT and SRT, previously I practiced very well them. So uh, I was able to complete, I think, 59 of WATs and 45 was SRTs. And SD also, I prepared very well. I kept the SD simple, didn't add too many adjectives about myself. I just wrote what's true about myself and what I thought of myself. And I took opinion from some of my friends. I also uh, wrote that only without adding any magical adjectives or anything glorifying myself like that. I kept everything simple. I think that is the one approach which helped me in this attempt to get recommended. And coming to the interview went for, I think, approximately 45 to 50 minutes. And in interview also, whatever the questions he asked, I just answered him frankly and directly without beating around the bush. And I was crisp to my point. And in PIQ as well, I kept the PIQ simple, sir. Uh, for example, in achievements, I just kept it dash dash because I don't have any achievements. And in other 2, 3 columns also, I just kept it dash dash. So it was very simple. So most interview mostly revolved around the PIQs, my PIQ form. So I answered all of them very well. And I think the main reason behind the interview going well is I was very honest. I was not able, I didn't do anything to make myself great or any such things. So I never said anything like that. So I think I was very honest in my responses, and the interviewer cross questioned me a lot. Since my answers were honest, I was able to reply back with logic. So in that way, interview also went well. And coming to the GTO, my initial GTO task went well. In GD and GP, I was able to put my points well, and I spoke logically, and I gave others the chance to speak. So I think those 3 tasks went well. And coming to the group task, the ground task like PGT, FGT, HGT, and all, one thing which I concentrated was just giving the solutions. I didn't care who is going first, who is going first, who is tackling the obstacle, or who is last. My entire focus was on giving the solution so that the group can pass that obstacle. I think uh, that is the one quality which helped me getting recommended. And in GTO, the day two was not that great for me. For example, in my individual obstacles, I did only 7 or 8. I didn't remember correctly, which was not great. And in the command task as well, I got grilled by the GTO a bit. I took I took more time to find the solutions in the command task. And after completing all the tasks, like there was hope that I will get recommended this time. All tasks went good, but yeah, by God's grace, I got recommended.
Okay. How did it feel like when the DSO called out your chest number? What went through your mind? Like for the next 5 minutes, what was going through your head?
For the first 5 to 10 seconds, I was numb. I was not able to believe myself. Like I first checked my chest number, whether it is me or not. And then when he called out my name and asked me to stand aside, like the journey of those 11 attempts just flashed in front of my eyes. And it was great, sir. I can't put it into words, but it was the best experience I've ever had.
One needs to experience it. It's an amazing feeling. Like I felt the
Yes,
same
sir.
when I did also. Like your journey just flashes in front of your eyes, and some people react differently. Some people cry, some people cheer and they punch the air, all those things.
Fortunately,
But
I held my tears back. Um,
yeah. Okay. So how do you think our platform has helped you? What SSB Bro, Instagram, YouTube, or my interactions with you before your attempt? Like, how has it helped you in your journey? Or any aspirant, why should he follow this page or get mentorship from me?
Sir, one thing is whatever the answers you give are very, very practical. Usually, if we see in YouTube, what everyone will say about that or whatever test it is. For example, if we take that, they tell us to add more actions, write a story which is sync. These these type of answers, it is not able to grab them. It is difficult to grab what we need to do. But the responses which you give in your Instagram Q&A or in your YouTube videos are very simple and straightforward. As I said, uh, after watching your story only, I followed the approach of observing the picture clearly and making myself calm before writing the story. I think it helped me a lot in both screening and in psychology test. And I believe psychology test is one of the toughest one to crack in SSB. And it the responses which not only that one, the other responses which you gave in your Instagram stories, which I followed, are very very helpful in clearing the psychology test.
Nice. That's good to hear from a recommended candidate. You are the first person from our program who got recommended. So many more to come. Let's hope
Pleasure, sir.
all our aspirants follow the same path and get recommended soon. So talk about your medicals. How many days did it take, and how did it go overall? What was the experience like?
Yes, sir. My medicals went for 5 days, and the experience was good. Uh, I got medically fit. I didn't got any TR. Um, Coming to medical experience, like after getting recommended, everything we will be in cloud nine, and it was good, sir. Usually in medicals, most of the time we spend waiting
Hmm,
outside the rooms.
I know. It is usually a procedure which may take maximum 1 day, or if they do it fast, they can complete in half a day also. Like if you go to every
Yes, sir.
department and you, but obviously it's a government hospital. a defense government hospital typically. So you are made to wait, and every day there's a different appointment. Like you go once to the eye specialist, next day to the ENT, then to the surgical guy. So it takes, but it's a fun procedure. Na? You stay there for 5 days with that plus mark on your chest, and it's a great thing.
Yes, sir. That moment when we wear that plus mark, I can't express that feeling, but one should experience it.
I know. So, Sai Rohith, what would you say to aspirants who are struggling to get screened in? Like, what are your tips for screening in?
Usually, people who are getting screened out continuously, their morale will be down. They usually when they attend their next SSB, the thing which occupies their mind was like, I should get screened in this time, and that that thought will keep them in pressure, and because of that pressure, they won't be able to perform well, especially in PPDT and discussion. And my advice will be go with a calm mind, have a sound sleep the day before you are going to your SSB. And as usual, OIR with some practice, anyone can do well. And the main part is the perception of the picture and the narration of our story. And group discussion is not in our hands. It depends on our group. If we get good group, we can participate well. If our group is making noise and if it is chaos, we can't do anything much about that. So my advice will be have a calm mind, especially before the PPDT. Observe the picture well. Don't start writing hurriedly. Just take 10 to 15 seconds. Make a theme in your mind which is in sync with the picture, and make a note of what all are the things the hero is doing, and make the actions very crisp, and try to complete the story within 45 to 50 seconds, at max 50 seconds. So that usually in repeaters group and in screen out groups, we won't get more than 50 seconds to complete our story. So completing our story in 45 to 50 seconds will give us an advantage. And the narration should be like we are we are telling a story to our friends. It should be more interesting. It should not be like in a plain voice, which is not. It should not be in a robotic voice. It should be the people who are beside to us listening to our story. They should get interest while we are narrating the story.
Nice.
And practice for this practice helps a lot, sir. Like before going to SSB, if we practice PPDT for like 10 days every day, 10 days before the SSB, it helps a lot, and we can get a grip on timing. We can complete the story in 50 seconds.
So the only way to practice discussion is by actually participating in group sessions or speaking in front of the mirror with a timer or something like this. The more you speak, the more you get confident, and you should get used to the selection system. Basically, it should be
Yes,
like
sir.
second. It shouldn't feel like some new thing has come to you. It shouldn't feel like a shock. So the better prepared you are, the easier it would become. Obviously, your personality will only count, but the better you are prepared, it is easier for you to show your personality. So
Yes, sir.
that
Yes, sir.
half of
That
the
too, if we are not prepared, they won't give us a chance to show our personality as well.
exact
We'll be out in the stage one itself.
correct. So it is like 50% you should build your personality and 50% you should prepare yourself well for the 5 day procedure.
Yes, sir.
Good. What is your suggestion to the hardcore repeaters watching this? Like you've been one yourself, so what is your message to them?
Do not lose hope. Keep working on yourself and be yourself in the SSB.
Nice,
Do not try
short.
to fake it.
Sai Rohit, that's all. I wish you the best for your merit and further your training in OTA Chennai. I wish you join my corps and my regiment. I would love to see you as my junior.
Yeah, sure, sir. Sure.
All the best. You have a very adventurous and what we call an extraordinary life ahead in the Indian Army. I
Yeah.
hope you
Thank
are
you, sir.
ready. All the best.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.